Hi, this is your video for the chapter on the arrival of the East India Company in the Metcalfe's book. In this chapter, the Metcalfes are basically trying to show a transition, right? They've got the end of the Mughal Empire and the arrival of the East India Company. So what they've done is they've sort of created two different narratives in the chapter. These are, they obviously overlap, but they also kind of have their separate stories. So we're trying to pull two pieces together. Again, it's a lot of new vocabulary, but I think you'll find that it starts to come together. So what I would suggest for reading this chapter is I would suggest that you get a map. You find a map on Google. You can use one of the maps that I list under the course homepage. There's a reference there for maps. What you should do is get a map, print it out, and as you are reading, mark off the different places where each of these regional groups is from, and that will help you kind of orient yourself to the chapter and make it a lot easier to review. So go to Google Maps or go to the maps, the more complicated maps that I have listed in the first chapter. Okay, again, there are lots of historians mentioned in this chapter, and I don't know if this is a practice that you find amongst textbook writers outside of India, but maybe we're just a very respectful and friendly group. But most of the people who are mentioned are leading scholars in the field. They know the Metcalfes, and many of them are probably using this book. So it's kind of a matter of respect for those who aren't experts in South Asia. It doesn't especially matter. If you want to go and check out the works of any of these people, by all means do so. But don't worry about them. Okay, so a question to think about as you read this chapter. Think about the selection of the term fault lines, right? This is a claim that the authors are making, a substantial claim I think they're making about the nature of the transformation of the Mughals. So think about what the term fault line means rather than other kinds of imperial disintegrations or rebellions. Excuse me. Also, please do be able to identify the challengers to the Mughals, the regional challengers, be able to identify them by name, know where they are regionally, know who is in the west, who's in the middle, who's in the north, the coasts, the interiors, who has large land holdings, small land holdings, etc. Okay, so be able to identify them rather particularly. And also, I'd like you to also be able to answer in what sort of capacities did Europeans first come to India? Right? We tend to think of the arrival of empire as something that just, about political control. But I'd like you to be able to identify the various capacities or jobs that Europeans came to India for first. As far as the names and terms in this chapter, I'll give you another little video pronouncing all the names in case you want to hear them. Okay, good luck. Where's my off button?